I'm Eric Anderson. Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, a new report tells us what immigration reform could mean for the federal deficit. And city leaders work on a plan to keep police officers from jumping ship to other forces.
I'm Peggy Pico. San Diego schools get more money and freedom on how to spend it. We'll show you who gets what and where the money will be spent. Then,
I like a home that make me feel comfortable.
More than 3,000 children in San Diego are in foster care. They could be adopted faster thanks to the county supervisor's new streamlining adoption plan.
And it takes a village to grow old in your own home. We'll show you how some Tierrasanta seniors are helping each other skip the retirement home. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Dwayne Brown is off tonight. The Congressional Budget Office has done the math on the Senate's immigration reform bill. About 8 million people would initially get legal status in the U.S., increasing the size of the labor force and increasing federal revenues by $459 billion over the next decade. Federal spending would also go up, but there would be a net decrease in federal budget deficits of about $197 billion, and they drop another $700 billion after 2023. Senate Democrats hope to pass the bill by the 4th of July. San Diego is hemorrhaging police officers. Today, the 4 conservative members of the city council held a press conference to call for an end to the bleeding. KPBS Metro reporter Sandhya Dirks was there. Sandhya, what did they talk about?
Well, the 4 conservatives were really trying to call attention to an issue that's already been in the news. In the past decade, the San Diego Police Department lost 300 officers. And some accounts say half of the force is set to retire in the next 4 years. So everyone agrees we need more cops. City Council member Kevin Faulconer says we need them now.
And our message here today is very clear. We cannot wait months because we are losing officers every month. The budget was just passed a couple of weeks ago. We want to have this on the books by next month, if entirely possible.
One problem is that other departments and law enforcement agencies are poaching police with signing bonuses. San Diego has always had a lean police base. But of the top 20 metro areas in the country, San Diego came in second to last in numbers of police per capita.
So what does this plan from these conservative city council members do to fix the problem?
Well, as of right now, it's really just to come up with a plan. They want the issue put on the docket at a Budget and Finance Committee meeting in July. So it's more of a call to action than an actual plan. Last week, the bipartisan city council passed its budget, including $2 million aimed just at SDPD. And earlier this month, the city came to a 5-year labor deal with SDPD, in addition to the $2 million set aside. Now, that $2 million could go to things like uniforms and equipment. Right now, a lot of police officers pay out of pocket for those things. Whether that will be enough to keep cops on the beat remains to be seen.
KPBS Metro reporter Sandhya Dirks. Sandhya, thanks. We have more online at kpbs.org. Today, the City Council finalized new limits on some campaign contributions. Political parties can now give $10,000 to a district candidate and $20,000 in a citywide race. A court struck down the old limit of $1,000. It is Election Day in Encinitas. Voters are deciding on Proposition A. That's the Right to Vote initiative. Supporters say it will give residents the right to vote on future developments that are denser or higher than the general plan currently allows. Opponents say the measure is too restrictive. The polls are open until 8 o'clock. With more than a year before the next congressional election, a new poll is giving Carl DeMaio a 9-point lead over incumbent Congressman Scott Peters in the 52nd District. The survey was done for our media partner, 10 News. Pollsters interviewed 500 registered voters in the district. 41% said they thought DeMaio would bring more jobs to the district, while 35% said they weren't sure who'd do a better job at job creation. You can learn more about the survey on our website, kpbs.org. East County activists are challenging San Diego County's recently approved wind energy ordinance. Neighborhood groups are fighting renewable energy projects that they say will destroy the character of the rural region. They argue that the new county wind policy favors developers, utilities, and absentee landowners trying to build energy projects. The activists say the rules gut the area's master plan by making it too easy to put a renewable energy project there. California school districts will gain more control in spending money thanks to the state's newly adopted budget. Peggy Pico explains how those changes are going to affect our schools.
Governor Jerry Brown's plan to level the playing field with more money to high-need students, schools, and districts will use a new formula to fund education. It allows local school districts more freedom in spending state education dollars. But critics worry about accountability. Joining me with more on the subject is Randy Ward, Superintendent of San Diego County Office of Education. And Superintendent Ward, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So school funding has always been complicated. It's hard to get a handle on it. How does this new funding formula make it easier, or how is it different?
Well, prior to this, there were tens and tens of different pots of funds that had to be applied to certain groups of students. And so you would use resources in a classroom for one group of students, but the next group that would come in couldn't use those resources. And it was very complicated, not to mention trying to figure out how much you were getting of each. What they're proposing now is a fundamental change in how they distribute the education dollars that come to the state of California, and putting those in pots of 3 different pots, but one big pot. One is a base funding formula. All students get a certain amount of money. The second is a supplemental formula for certain students, EL students, which are English language learners, low socioeconomic students, and foster care students. They get an additional amount. And then, if you're a high concentration of those of those students, basically 55% or over, you get another additional amount to help you to educate children who have who need more to be educated.
Let's talk about these concentration grants, and you get the extra concentration. What qualifies the district? Is it those having a high concentration of those 3 groups? So
yes, and that concentration has to be at the 55% or above level. Otherwise, you don't get any. So you could be 54% and miss out on that extra pot of money.
We have some examples of that I want to show folks. So here in San Diego, nobody's going to lose money, but here in San Diego Unified School District has 67% of those high-need students we were just talking about. This works out to about $320 more per student in that district. Lemon Grove comes in at 100% with high-needs students. So their students there will get an additional $481 of funding, while San Marcos at 48% just gets about $146 per student, or in an added pot to help do this.
So you said just.
Yes, 140.
And that's part of the discussion that has been occurring. There really aren't any losers. There are just winners, big winners, and super big winners in this equity. This attempt to provide equity through funding.
Yeah, they're not taking from one school district to give to another or anything like that. Give us some specifics on how this extra money per student will be spent.
Well, the school district gets to decide that, not Sacramento. So the school district will basically put together an improvement achievement plan. They will put the entire amount of money into a pot and make decisions on how they will spend that money to improve achievement for not only those 3 categories of students that we mentioned, but also for all students, so that there is benefit that if you have a computer paid for by one program, that another student can come in and use that computer. I mean, that's reasonable for the layperson, you and I, but too often it was part of the landscape of restricted funding in the past.
Let's talk about this funding, because clearly the voters in California care about education. They voted, overwhelmingly.
Prop 30, thank you.
Absolutely. The governor is. But there's still a lot of concern that I hear about accountability. So now you've got this pot of money, and now the district gets to spend it the way they want, within reason. So what sort of system is in place to make sure that money's being spent where it should be?
So what we're talking about now is how do you use the County Office of Education and the resources there to work with districts to make sure that the money first is expended in some of those same categories. But second, for me, more importantly, is how they're expended. What's the quality of those programs, and are they making a difference in the achievement levels of students? So that is all being developed. It's supposed to be developed in the next year or two. And
kind of a tracking or accountability system.
An accountability monitoring system with rubrics and kind of what's the evaluation. That's all being developed. The State Board of Education will have a role in that as well. And will come out really a year or two down the road. But districts really want to look at that because school districts and educators tend to look at what's the test, what's the evaluation, for me to know how I'm going to approach using these resources.
All right, Superintendent of San Diego County Office of Education, Randy Ward, thank you so much for the update.
Thanks for having us.
San Diego officials hope the federally funded free summer lunch program reaches a record number of families this year. San Diego Unified's Gary Patel hopes the Summer Fun Cafe serves 600,000 meals.
Last year was just under 500,000, 500,000 children.
San Diego Unified is one of the Summer Fun Cafe's partners, and the district's Gary Patel says this year's program was launched with a barbecue at Skyline Park in southeast San Diego.
And that just really hits you hard when you know that they rely on this throughout the summer. And some people have told me that it saves their grocery bill several $100s a week by having all their children come to eat at these events.
Patel says 30% of all kids in San Diego County have food security issues. The program began 10 years ago at just 6 sites. Karimi Alvarez works with the UC San Diego Network for Healthy California. She says there are now 65 sites offering free nutritious lunches.
Parents can simply dial 211, and by putting in their zip code, they can be directed to all the summer lunch programs that are available in their community. And not just that, but also creative programming where children can be in a safe place to engage in physical activities and stay strong.
She says delivering a healthy lunch is just half the battle. The program also promotes exercise.
At least studies do show that children are gaining twice as much weight during the summer as they do during the school year.
Alvarez says that happens because kids can develop unhealthy habits when they're away from school, and she says the food and activities are all free. There is no paperwork to fill out, and kids up to 18 years old can take part. Aetna says it will stop selling individual health insurance policies in California. Just a couple of weeks ago, the company opted out of the state exchange being formed under the Affordable Care Act. Aetna's decision takes effect in October. It will not affect anyone who has a policy through their employer. The San Diego County Board of Supervisors today approved a new plan to streamline the lengthy child adoption process. Peggy Pico explains how that new plan is going to benefit local foster kids.
You've probably seen the ads, adorable foster children asking for permanent parents to love them as family.
Like a home that make me feel comfortable. I want to be with my brother and my family.
More than 3,500 kids in San Diego County are in foster care, but only 45 of those children are currently eligible for adoption. Each year, about 300 San Diegans apply to adopt foster kids. So what's the holdup, and why does it take years for a public agency to do what a private agency can do in months? Here with some answers are San Diego County Supervisor Dave Roberts and Margot Fudge, Adoptions Manager for San Diego County Child Welfare Services. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Margot, let's start with you. Does it take a lot longer through the county system? And if it does, how come?
I think it may take longer for the county system versus a private agency, but part of that is because there are fewer children available right now for adoption. You know, in years past, we had a larger number of children in foster care and a larger number of children waiting to be adopted. We're sort of in a reverse situation right now where we have more people waiting for children, but we don't have as many children. There's only 45 available, as you mentioned. So that does cause a delay in matching with families.
What's what as far as when you say available? Can you address that? What makes a child available for adoption as opposed to all the ones in foster care? Margot, let me have you answer that.
So the children are available. That means that the parental rights have been terminated for the parents and that the children are available waiting to be placed in a family and adopted.
Okay. And Supervisor Roberts, you've adopted 5 children of your own. How old are they, and what was your adoption experience like?
Yes, we adopted all 5 of our children from the County of San Diego over the last 15 years, and they are now ages 4 to age 17. And our 17-year-old is soon going to turn 18, just graduated from high school and going into the military.
What was the experience like? Did it take a long time, or did you? Was it frustrating? Did it seem to move fairly well for you?
No, when we began the process 15 years ago, we heard about this at the Del Mar County Fair, and we applied. We went through the Oceanside office, and it took us about 8 months to be certified foster parents. And after we were certified, we had our first child placed with us in about 8 weeks. Second child, it took about 4 years. So you don't know in the process where you are, because you want to keep the child in mind and find the best fit and family for that child.
Okay. And what is the screening process, Margot, for prospective adoptive parents? Like I said, one time it took 4 weeks, another time it took a few years. Is there a standard process?
There is a standard process for people that are interested in adopting. They can come to an orientation, and then we will assign a worker with them to get them going on the background process to be cleared. They do have to become licensed foster parents first, and so that takes some time to do that, and then the adoption piece kicks in, where we begin the home study process. The last layer really is the matching process, and making sure that the children that are waiting are matched with the best fit possible for the family that's chosen for them.
Okay. And Supervisor Roberts, now the County Board of Supervisors just approved this plan proposal. You're going to be on, I guess, the team that's going to try to streamline this process, correct?
So the County Board of Supervisors today approved a plan 5-0 unanimously that they wanted to come up with a plan, and so we have asked the county look at customer service, look at quality, look at efficiency. Bring back within 120 days ideas of how the San Diego County adoption system can be more effective and efficient. And what we want to do is really give all the tools and resources to our child welfare service workers so they can speed up this process.
Okay. In the meantime, so that's 120 days from now, what can people do if they're interested in adopting or becoming foster parents?
Well, one thing is you can always contact the county through whatever part of the county you live in. We originally started, again, I mentioned at the San Diego County Fair. I'm pleased that our booth is back there again at the county fair. You can get information. You go through the orientation process if you want to become a foster parent. We're looking for non-traditional families also to get involved, so young families, old families, same-sex couples, single people can adopt. So we're looking for folks that really want to take that child and create a forever family.
I just want to end on this. Right now there are 3,511 children in foster care here in San Diego County. We have them broken down as far as their race and ethnicity. So the majority, 1,631, are Latino, 964 white, 714 African American, 123 Asian or Pacific Islander, and 77 American Indian or Alaskan Native. Margot, how much does race, disability basically play into the adoption process?
Well, times have definitely changed in terms of families coming forward to adopt. Historically, it had been people looking for babies, and that is not the population that we have in the County of San Diego right now. We do have, of the 45 children, the majority of them are older children, their sibling sets, they're children with medical or behavioral issues, and so
it is taken into account.
Absolutely.
I want to let folks know they can find out a lot more about this on our website. There's all sorts of links. So, and also to thank you both for joining me and updating me on this new process.
Good to be here. Thank you.
A group of seniors in a San Diego community are taking charge of their golden years. KPBS reporter Susan Murphy tells us they are abandoning the idea of a retirement home by joining together to help each other grow old in their own homes.
Happy birthday to you. These seniors in the community of Tierrasanta want no part of a retirement home. Birthday, dear villagers. They're determined to change the experience of aging by staying put in their own homes for the rest of their lives. To do this, 200 of them, and numbers are growing, have band together to form a village with a neighbors helping neighbors approach. Tierrasanta is considered a NORC, which stands for Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. The neighborhood was not built for seniors, but hundreds of people have lived there for decades, and now they're growing old together. Many residents here in Tierrasanta bought their homes when this neighborhood was first built in the 70s. They raised their kids here. Now more than 5,000 seniors live in this 92124 zip code.
But when your kids grew up and left, you found you didn't know anybody, and everybody's garage door comes down, and this provides an opportunity for us to get to know one another, get out there.
Susan Deininger co-founded the Tierrasanta Village in 2006.
I was desperate. Then I saw that village thing in AARP, and I said, this is it. I began looking for somebody else who could find life here. I found one person who lived here 35 years. Her son was in Costa Rica, and she said, yes, I'm looking for life here too.
Today, the membership-based village provides an essential support system and 4 daily social activities focused on health and wellness, arts and culture, and education. Most events take place at a neighborhood condo clubhouse, which they rent for $25 a day. Funding comes from $15 monthly membership dues, grants, and fundraisers.
We did a big show 2 years ago. Remember, Susan, with we have a group that sings and plays the piano, musical instruments, whatever. We did a big show.
Stroll down memory lane.
Stroll down memory lane.
Game days and blood pressure checks are equally well attended. Deininger says they have just one rule.
We leave religion and politics at the door. Work very hard at that, so that we just share all the different things we have in common.
Many activities are led by village members who are retired professionals like teachers and doctors, as well as those who were labor workers and stay-at-home moms.
The best part has been reacquainting with people that I met 40 years ago when our children were really small.
Yeah. And you come to this and you say, oh, now I have to know my name. You know, hi, Fran. Hi, Greg.
Fran Godfrey-Zweibel and John Batchelder say they've caught the village's contagious enthusiasm for healthy living and giving.
We have a number of people over 90. We have one person who is 101 and about to turn 102. And I've been, and a number of the people here have been involved with them in providing rides, and when they get sick, being available to them, just keeping them involved in this community.
The village idea is expected to gain momentum across the nation as the so-called silver tsunami of baby boomers continue to reach their golden years. By the year 2030, 1 in 5 people living in the U.S. will be 65 years or older. And the 85 and older population is projected to rise from 6 million today to 19 million in the year 2050.
I think it's a movement that's just going to envelop the whole senior, movement all around the country.
Pam Chapman is Tierrasanta Village's executive director. She says theirs was one of the first senior villages in the U.S. Now there are 100, with hundreds more in the works. The Tierrasanta Village serves as a role model for NORCs across the nation with one unique touch. They call it a time bank.
So what we're able to do is, in retirement, or not, some of us are younger, but in retirement, bundle up all your skills and all your favorite things to do, and then offer those to the community, receive time dollars for those, and then take all the things you hate doing, for me, hemming, ironing, sewing, weeding, those kinds of things, and farm those out to the people who love to do those.
I have someone from the village that I'm paying time bank dollars to help me organize my office, because it's a big mess.
In return, Beverly Slater Sheehan, a retired teacher, will help you organize your special party or event, complete with a jingle or rap that she'll write and perform.
Don't get upset about this garage sale. You don't have to worry, so don't look so pale.
Joanne Quelbs is the time bank bookkeeper.
And there are rides to doctor's appointments, for grocery shopping. Some people can't get out to do that if they're no longer driving.
And then I'll grease the track first.
Okay.
Joanne's husband, Tom Quelbs, a retired dentist, is also a talented handyman.
That's easy on my part.
Yeah.
He recently earned a time bank dollar for repairing Mary Fox's squeaky garage door. The Quelbs, both in their 80s, have 5 grown children, but just one lives in San Diego. They say the village has given them confidence and comfort to stay in their home.
People looking out for each other, broadening your circle of acquaintances so you have more people looking out for you as time goes along.
Time these seniors say they'll treasure with their renewed lifelong friends in this Tierrasanta neighborhood for the rest of their lives.
Hey there, wanna stay in your home? No one does it all on your own, so go on and pick up your phone and join T-R-A-S-A-N-A. VSD.
Susan Murphy, KPBS News.
Shut, I realized, oh my gosh, this is really going to happen. The moment of ignition, there's absolutely nothing like it. There is so much power, so much thunder. You know that something you have no control over at all is happening for the next 8.5 minutes.
That is Sally Ride speaking in 2008 about her experience as America's first female astronaut. Today marks the 30th anniversary of that historic launch. She died of cancer last year in La Jolla. Today, Congressman Scott Peters introduced a bill to posthumously award her a Congressional Gold Medal. That's the highest civilian award Congress can give. Peters says that Ride should be honored not only as an astronaut, but also as an educator and a pioneer for women in math and science. We've got more of our usual June weather pattern ahead, a mix of sun and clouds along the coast, temperatures in the 60s to 70s. It'll be a bit warmer in the inland valleys, temperatures in the upper 70s there. For the mountains, it'll be sunny, 70s to 80s, and more triple-digit temperatures for the desert. You can find tonight's stories and download the KPBS app all on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks very much for joining us. Have a great evening.